Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be going over one of the new releases from WWDC this year, and we will be building an app icon using Icon Composer, and we'll go all the way from taking our icon from a scratch idea, bringing it into Icon Composer and actually building it out, and then actually being able to run it on the simulator and see what it looks like. If you're ready to check out this new app from Apple like I am, then stay tuned. Let's learn together. Now, before we dive into actually building an icon with Icon Composer, you may wonder how to get set up with building your icon and setting up your design files in such a way that you know your icon will look great on any size device. Well, luckily, Apple has given us a link here of developer.apple.com/design/resources. Don't worry, I'll throw that in the description below for you. But when you go to the design resources from Apple, you can actually access a Sketch or a Photoshop app icon template. Now, when you get one of those templates, you can either use it in the product that they've got the link for here, but one thing that I like to do is I prefer to bring that into Figma. Figma is the thing that I use on a regular basis whenever I do design files for my own apps. So as you can see here, we've already got the app outline that we pulled in from our Sketch file, because you can pull a Sketch file straight from Sketch into a Figma project and use it just without any effort. And so I've gone ahead and I've copied over the Wand and Sparkles SF symbol that Apple gives us for free as just a sample icon that we want to use for our app demo today. Now, I've also gone ahead and I have labeled these with a 0 and a 1, and we'll go into that more in detail here in just a second. But this app outline will allow us to know very quickly and easily if our app fits within the bounds of the given icon that we're trying to design for. And if you're just a basic developer like me and you don't have a ton of design skills, this is really helpful. And I would highly suggest using these resources that Apple provides us for free because they're extremely beneficial. And it doesn't matter if you're just a developer or even if you're the world's best designer in the world. These resources will help guide you to building a great app icon either way. And with that, we are ready to actually start going ahead and jumping in and building out our app icon using Icon Composer. Now, there's a couple ways to get to it. If you are a developer and you're using Xcode, you can go to the Xcode settings and scroll down to the Open Developer tool and choose Icon Composer, which is great for us indie devs. But if you are not a developer and you're a designer that is trying to get an app icon built for someone else, then you can also access the Icon Composer from Apple's own website. So developer.apple.com/icon composer, and it'll allow you to download this app directly to your Mac and run it from your Mac without requiring Xcode. Now, again, I'll throw that link in the description, so don't worry about having to copy that. But now that we know how to get access to Icon Composer, let's go back over into Xcode, for example, and let's go ahead and open our Icon Composer. And we'll create a new document. There we go. So now I've got Icon Composer open, and this is what a blank project looks like by default. And as you can see, when our icon here is just our background, and we can change the colors if we want to by choosing these options here. We could also look and see what our icon looks like for iOS and Mac, or for watchOS, because they do in fact look different. And for iOS and macOS, we have the default, which is what used to be called light mode. Now it's just called default, which is kind of nice. And then we have dark mode, and we can see what our app icon looks like in dark mode. And we've also got mono. Now mono is where the tinted options come into play, and it's also where the glass options come into play. So you want to make sure you're designing for both of those and that it looks great in both light and dark in all of those scenarios, whether it's tinted or the new liquid glass design. Now let's go ahead and just put everything back to the way it was, and we'll get started on our project. So jumping back over into Figma, we can select the different layers of our image, and I always like to choose SVG because it's a lossless format, and it'll let us scale these icons up or down infinitely without losing any kind of quality. But then you can just click on the export button here, and we'll do the same thing for the stars. There we go. And now that has already been saved in a file to my desktop. And window keeps jumping around, so that's a fun beta macOS bug. And so now that we've got these files on our desktop here, we can just drag and drop them over into our project. Cool. Now, one thing you may notice is that there is a default group that we were given here. Now, each of these groups is a layer of glass in our background. So right now this is saying that the stars and the wand are all on the same layers. And that's not necessarily what I would like. I would kind of like to have the wand on a separate layer from the stars. So let's go ahead and let's say that we want to have a new group. And we will put the wand in that group, and we'll keep the stars inside of this group. And now we've actually got the wand on its own piece of glass, for example, and the stars on their own piece of glass. And it's layered in a Z-stack. So for example, our app icon is our very most background. This first group is the one layer up above that, and then one layer above the wand is the stars. So hopefully that'll help give you a better mental picture of what this icon is actually doing. Now, we can go through here and we can see that this actually doesn't look too bad in light mode, or in the default mode, but let's go ahead and let's work on changing some of these colors up just a little bit so that we can make our icon kind of nice. So if we change our fill, we can change it to, let's say, white, for example. Okay, now you can already kind of see that glass effect coming through. Very cool. And then we can go back over to our stars and we'll make it let's make them a gradient fill. There we go. And let's make them white also. Okay, nice. So what does that look like without a gradient, I wonder? Okay, so there's a little subtle change here. Going back so you can see it. So the gradient, that's a little bit more gray down towards the bottom, and that makes it just a little bit more light towards the top. All right. Now, one interesting thing that you might notice is that all of our sample preview icons are also changing down here, which is pretty cool. So if we go over to the dark mode, we can see that now these items are all blue. That's interesting. So what if we wanted to change the stars again for the background here? And can we make them white now? Okay, cool. So we can make those white. Let's see what this looks like as a gradient. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. And let's see if we can fix the wand so that it's not blue also. Okay, so that doesn't, again, look too bad at all. And it still seems to keep the same colors. So that's one thing to note too, is that every time you make a change in each one of these individual styles, it seems to keep it for that style, which is really useful and really cool too. So you're actually getting to see what your app icon looks like before you even have to run it on an app, which is really nice and allows for a very fast feedback loop. So now let's go over to the glass, for example, the mono option. And we've got it on the glass because tinted is turned off. So let's see, so that doesn't look too bad. Now you can actually move where the light is on your icon by turning this wheel here, and you can see the light moving around the image, which is kind of cool. And you can see where the various shadows show up and appear and the highlights show up and appear. So let's go ahead and say that for, like, that actually doesn't look too bad to me for the glass effect. So let's try the tinted or the dark effect and make sure that looks good too. Okay, so that still looks good too in the dark effect. So now let's go back to tinted, and okay, that doesn't look bad. Let's throw a background on there, so you can select a background on here and kind of see what it looks like, and you can actually see the glass effect here where it is modifying the image behind it. And they go ahead and they give you a few different colors so that you can make sure that this still looks good no matter what color is behind your icon. So we can scroll through here, blue, and then here's some other lighter colors, and now gray. Okay, so see, that doesn't even look bad on a gray. Now let's take the tint off and see how our glass looks. That's a little bit hard to see, but not too bad. Okay, that was fun. Got some cool beta bugs going on right now. I'm running the new macOS 26 beta on my machine, so that's been fun to work with and fun to figure out. So now let's see what we can do to make this a little better. That may actually not be too bad. You can still see it decently. Let's zoom out a little bit and see how this looks. Okay, yeah, so it doesn't look as bad when you're at a normal size scale. And this is closer to what it would look like. You wouldn't be seeing all the super high level details that you normally would when you're actually building the app and inspecting it up close. As you can see, we can get really close to our app and see all the details. All right, and so let's just go ahead and put it back to this one, for example. This one, for example, there we go. All right, and then if we like our app icon, then we can go ahead and export it. Now, in order to export this in a way that Xcode needs, you go to the File menu, and then you'll just save your project. And so let's go over to our desktop, and let's just save this, and we'll call it Demo Icon, and we will just save our icon there. Now, that saves it as a file that Xcode can use. But if you need to save it as a file that something else can use, then you can come over here and you can export it as a specific icon, a specific file size, a specific scale, that kind of thing. Or you can export them all at the same time, which is really cool too. So now that we've got our icon built, let's jump back over into Xcode. And we can see that we've got our demo icon here. So let's go ahead and we'll just drag and drop our demo icon file into our project navigator. And we'll leave the defaults the same. And there we go. And now you can see this is the new way that your project icon can look in Xcode when you're using Icon Composer. You actually get to see the real file, and then if you need to make any changes, you can open it up right here in Icon Composer, which is really cool. All right, so for now, we are done with Icon Composer. Now there's actually one more step that we have to do before we can run this on our simulator, and that is we need to go over into our project settings, and we are going to stay in our target and our general tab, and then we need to scroll down just a little bit to our app icon, and we need to change the name of our app icon to match our project name that we have here for our Icon Composer project. So let's go back over to our general target settings, and again scroll back down, and then we will just paste that icon name there. And now with that, we're actually ready to run this on the simulator and actually see what it looks like on our simulator. Now if you've already run this project and you don't have an icon set up, or you're trying to change your app icon, or at least the way it looks, then in order to fix the caching, because there is some caching on the iOS device to try to help prevent it from doing unnecessary work, as it should, then you can go ahead and just long press on your app icon, delete it, and then just rerun your project on the same simulator, and that should give you your new icon. So let's go ahead and let's run our project and see how it looks. All right, so we've landed in our app and it built successfully, so let's go back to the home screen. Great, so here is our default app icon, and that doesn't look bad at all. So let's go ahead and let's edit this, and we will customize it, and let's see what it looks like in dark mode. Let's do always. So dark mode, there we go. Okay, so in dark mode it doesn't look bad at all. And let's go over to tinted, and let's make it red, for example. Okay, and if we go more towards the light side, what does that look like? Looks like all the icons break. How about in light mode? Let's see. Does that do any better when we click out of it? Nope, it does not. So then let's go back. Looks like all the icons on the simulator. Okay, there they go. Now they're doing it. Okay, so that doesn't look bad. And then let's go ahead and click on clear. And let's go ahead and put it on light mode just so that it stays that way. Nice. That actually looks really good. It seems to match fairly well with the rest of the system icons. Doesn't look bad at all. Let's check it out on clear dark. Okay, and we can see it looks like there might be a little bit of translucency in that, but not very much at all. Okay, that's good to know. And so we'll put it back on light. And just like that, we have built an app icon using Icon Composer. And with that, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And let me know what your favorite thing was from WWDC in the comments. And if you want me to make a video on it, let me know that too. And if you do decide to leave a comment, just be nice about it. That's all I ask. Thanks. Have a great day.